If you are a guy who is worried about running out of things to say on a date, well, I'm going to give you 6 principles that actually require you to speak less, but will get her hooked on you even more from that very first date. Let's dive in. So, the first thing that you're going to want to do is get her to speak 80% of the time and have yourself speak 20% of the time. Okay, so off the bat, you are going to be speaking a lot less. You're not going to be having to come up with all these different conversation topics because she will be doing the work for you. Okay, so how do you actually get this beautiful, beautiful ratio? Well, you're going to practice active listening. So you're really going to be listening to what she says and acknowledging things along the way. And when you do that, you're going to be using open-ended questions so she has more, so she shares more. These questions are designed to get people to speak more. They're not just yes or no answers, okay? So let me give you a quick little example of what active listening is. So let's say she's telling you about a vacation she took. She went to Rio, okay? Brazil. And you're like, oh, and she's going on about like, yeah, we landed in Rio and immediately we went to this really great restaurant and we had barbecue. And you're like, oh, really? I love Brazilian barbecue. Do they still do it down there the way they do it up here, where you have that little flag and they'll bring out meat to you? Like, did you do the all-you-can-eat meat thing? And then she'll go, oh, well, yeah, actually, it's the same thing, and we do this and that. And then after that, we went some street vendors. So see how she'll kind of open up. One idea will trigger another, and she'll be talking for quite a while. All you have to do is sit there and be like, really? Oh, I love that. That sounds delicious. You're actively listening. You're not having to come up with all these different topics, okay? And what you're doing here by having her speak more is that you're leveraging a woman's a desire to verbally communicate. Okay, women speak on average way more than men do per day. And women simply feel more comfortable when they do verbalize. Okay, so if you really want to open a girl up and have her feel more comfortable with you and have her trust you and build rapport, then by asking questions and having her just talk and you listening, that is going to do that so much better than if you're going on and trying to tell her about your life and your accomplishments, your job. It's like you don't have to do any of that stuff. Just ask her some good questions and let her go. And you can sit there, sip on your drink, smile, nod, say, really? Oh, that's interesting. Tell me, what else did you do with that? And that's all you really have to do. You're not having to sit there racking your brain. Okay, so once you've done that, you're having a great conversation, you're actively listening, you're gonna wanna put in there, you wanna sexually escalate and use sexual innuendos to keep yourself out of the dreaded friend zone, of course, okay? Guys often get into what I like to call interview mode with their dates. Where are you from? How long did you grow up there? What do you do for work? What do you like to do on the weekends? And then they're like fucking done. They can't think of anything else to say. This is interview mode, okay? Do not do that. It's very flat. It's boring. She's gonna see you as just like, okay, this is like an acquaintance. There's no sexuality. There's no romance. So as you're actively listening, be looking for opportunities to say things that are a sexual nature, okay? Now, the easiest one, the best ones to do is to use the classic, that's what she said. So if you hear her say something like that, just be like, oh yeah, that's what she said. Or maybe she's talking about, again, we'll use the Brazil thing. Yeah, we went up for a hike in the mountains. It was this huge mountain. Oh, it was huge, huh? Just how huge was it? Do you like things that are huge? And she'll pick up on it. She'll probably laugh. Now, in the event that she's like, oh my God, what? Ugh. Like, this is the chance of that happening is very low if you've been using opening questions and opening her up. But if she does, I'm just playing. No, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean it like that. I'm just joking. But tell me more about your hiking trip, so you can kind of segue out of it. So don't worry about that if you're just super concerned. This has never happened to me. I've never heard about someone get freaked out about that. But again, if she does, that's actually a good thing. It tells you this girl is way too uptight and not a girl that you want to pursue anyway. All right. Now, you've opened up questions, you've built things sexually, and what happens then? Let's say it's at the end of the date, you give her a kiss, maybe you've escalated to a kiss even at the bar. Anyway, she goes on her merry way, or maybe you go back to her place, whatever it happens to be, the date is over. Okay? Now she's thinking to herself, This guy's really cool. Like he's really interested in me because you were asking good questions and you were listening. She's gonna think, "Oh, this guy's a great listener." She's gonna feel very comfortable with you because, like I said, the more she opens up, the more comfortable she is with you. She's also gonna think, wow, he's comfortable with his sexuality. Like you open up the conversation, you had some sexual innuendo. She feels comfortable being sexual with you. One little side note: most women will not start the sexual banter until you do it because they don't want you to think that she's easy or that she's a slut. So by you doing this, it actually eases it takes a bit of the tension in a good way out of the conversation and allows her to step into her sexual side, which is very good. So you can build up more sexual tension. Okay. And then now she's thinking, man, I had this great date. He's a great listener, but I still don't know much about him and I want to know more. Okay. And this is exactly the end goal where you guys should be. She's going to think to herself, man, I want to see him again and find out more about him. This is your goal. Okay. And the reason why she's going to be thinking this is because, like I said, you've opened her up. She feels so comfortable with you. There's been some physicality. There's been some romance, some sexuality. You kissed her. There's this fun flirtation as you were bantering. It wasn't too serious. And now she's going to be like, well, I had a great time. I want to feel that again. I hope he asks me out. So boom, from the very first date, now you've got her hooked and you haven't had to say pretty much anything. You've just had to listen to her and ask questions about what she said. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Now, if you like this kind of stuff and you want to learn more, I invite you to join my free community. It's called the Club Scoundrel, and I do free live calls every week. So it's completely free to join. So hop on in. You can get coaching from me. There's a lot of resources like videos I have on there on polarity, how to build your masculine leadership and build polarity between the masculine and the feminine. I've got stuff, the A to Z's, from how to have no girls to getting girls to having girls really want to have something long term with you, kind of like what we're talking about here, but this is obviously just for a first date or a second date. So if you like this stuff, click the link down below. Come on and join us over at Club Scoundrel. There's a lot of great guys in there that you can meet, learn, and become buddies with. All right, so I'll see you on the inside. And that does it for this video. I will see you in the next one.